Hi, BJ Posnecki. Today I'm going to go over how to seasonally balance a single family house. So we're in the basement, and what you're going to want to do is locate the furnace. And then from the furnace going up, you're going to have the plenum. Okay, this particular house has an electronic zones. So it's a dual zone, but it doesn't have two different units. What it does is it has two thermostats on different levels with electronic dampers. So it's an electronic zone versus a manual zone. However, putting that aside, to seasonally balance it, all right, so for the summertime, we want to get that cold air up to the upper floors. You may have seen my other video, how to seasonal balance a townhouse. Okay, so same concept. We know hot air rises and then cold air falls. So we want to get that cold air up to the second floor, and then it will fall down. And then as you go up each floor, it's also plus 3 degrees. And then when you're down in the basement, it could be minus 3 to 5 degrees. So you want to locate the furnace along the plenum here, the main trunk line. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look up into the ceiling and look for the branch runs, the supplies. These supplies are going to go to individual registers throughout the house. Now, the heating and air guys should be labeling them. At this particular house, they're not labeled, so that would be an issue. You want to make sure you get them labeled because you need to know where they run to, because you may trace it along the ceiling here and then it goes vertical. Is it going, typically if it's going to the first floor here, you'll see a boot with a register and you can figure that out. However, once they go vertical and they're going to the second floor, you lose it. I mean, you would think that it would be going to a room in that general location in the house, in that area, but not always. I mean, they could be going up and then cutting over and going somewhere else. So it's important that they're labeled. So assuming that they're labeled, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to walk down the trunk line here, or walk along the trunk line, and as you come across to a duct, when you follow that duct, now this particular one, like a bigger duct like this, more than likely branches, it has even separate branches and it feeds multiple rooms. So what you're going to want to do is follow the ducts, and then when you come to the smaller pipes, like right here, that is a damper lever. So when it's parallel or in line with the pipe, that's open. When it's perpendicular, that would be closed. So a little bit tough to reach this one here, but okay, let's try it this way. You may have a tough time. That's a perfect example. You may have a tough time turning it one way or turning it one way. Just go the other. It doesn't matter. So now what I've done is currently now that duct is closed. So it's cutting off the air supply to that particular room, whatever it feeds. It's in the front of the house here. I'm just going to guess and say it's the front room or the foyer. So what you're going to want to do is locate the damper lever. So just follow the duct work like I did. That was just an example there. Let's go back to the main trunk line here. Okay, and as you see these smaller ducts running off. Now, sometimes they could be hidden or above another duct. So it could be, the damper lever could be above this particular duct, or it could be up in here, or sometimes too, you follow it down, you may find it in another area. I mean, I've seen them be farther over here. Let's say this is that same duct. I've seen them in another area where you can turn them off. So what you need to do is, like I said, walk the whole plenum, locate each supply, and then there will be a damper lever, and then you close it off. And then what you want to do for the summertime is close off the basement and the first floor rooms, and when you close them all the way, there's still air that's passing by. It's not a hard stop, like a shutoff valve. Like when you shut off a shutoff valve, like a water shutoff valve, it completely cuts the water off. These are just like, think of them as like deflectors. You know, it's just, you know, even when it's closed, there's a flap in there and it's cutting off the air supply, but there's still air that passes by. So I always tell people, start with them closed, and then if you want more airflow to a certain area, open them up maybe like halfway. So back there, let me try to locate another one. Okay, so here, like perfect example. See how that one's kind of tucked up right there? Okay, so close it down all the way, and then if anything, if you want a little bit more airflow, open it up maybe halfway, which would be like at a 45-degree angle, okay? And like I said, you're just gonna follow the trunk line down. You're gonna spot all the runs. They should be labeled, which room they are for. Close down the basement and the first floor for air conditioning mode. And then come wintertime or fall, or fall, winter, whenever you turn the heat back on, come back down here and open up the basement and the first floor rooms to whatever starting position they were, you know, because the first floor rooms may not have been all the way open to balance the house. Seasonal balancing is between heat and air conditioning, and then balancing, sometimes the heating and air guys may balance the house to redirect more airflow. So if that's the case and the damper lever has been in a specific location, you may want to mark that location with a Sharpie marker, so that this way, when you open it back up, you open up the first floor rooms to where they were, so that this way, when you're in heat mode, everything is balanced. And then by opening up the basement and the first floor, we're going to get heat down here into the basement, which will keep this area warm, and then that heat will rise up through the house, transferring heat through the floors up above it, giving you a lot more comfortable feel in the wintertime. You know, it's very important. I would always recommend opening up the basement registers, you know, and get some heat down here, because anytime, even with insulation, which this is not insulated, this is the first floor, but even to rooms like over for example, over a garage, even though it's insulated, that garage, if it's not heated, is a cold space. So you will, I do see a lot of rooms that are above a garage that are a little bit chilly. So kind of the same concept, just by keeping the basement warmer will in turn keep the first floor and all the rooms above it warmer. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe, and leave a comment. Give me some more ideas on videos that you guys want me to make. Thank you.